Today is Friday, December 8th of 2023. And we did several trades in our main option trading account as you see here. First, we bought to close the PYPL December 15th, $52.5 cash secured put options for 5 cents per share, and did the same with CL. We bought the January 19th of $67.5 cash secured put options for 10 cents per share. So closed that one out quite early, over a month early. Then we did two new trades. In StarBucks, we sold the SBUX January 19th $92.5 cash secured put option, got 82 cents per share for that. So here we see the daily chart and the weekly chart of StarBucks. We'll focus on these two down here. And we see that several weeks ago, back on beginning of November, on November 1st and November 2nd, there was a big gap up with StarBucks. So it gapped up, let's say almost 10% that day. Remember, gaps like to fill. I made a video about this, about how gaps like to fill. I believe it was 93% of the time, very high percentage of the time, gaps tend to fill. So it advanced for a few weeks, and then since then it's just been in a decline. So it declined, gave it a lot of it back, declined 10.5%. Hasn't quite filled this gap yet, but done a pretty good job of almost filling it. But over the past several days, it looks like it's been finding support right here in this area that coincides with the high from back here towards the end of October. Because it's trading sideways, and although our volume was going up as you see here as it declined, and now that downward pressure appears to have faded away, I've been waiting on this to find some support, which appears like it is for now, before I started a position in StarBucks. So now that it appears to be trying to find some support, we went ahead and start a position. Now just notice that we did start a position right here where if the gap did completely fill, it'd be right there, just be barely in the money by about $1, a little less than $1. So we'll look to see what happens. We'll look to add to this position if given the opportunity to. Looking over here at the weekly chart, our position here is this white line, this $92.5 line, and notice that it's right below the red 200 moving average on this weekly chart. Do know that right here in the volume section, the volume has been strong. This week was the highest volume, but notice what the candlestick looks like. It did make a lower low and a lower high, so that is still bearish, but that nice long leg tells us that buyers are trying to come in to buy the stock up. So we'll see what happens next week. But we do have some room for it to continue going lower. In fact, from where it closed today, StarBucks can decline almost 5% before this $92.5 cash secured put option is challenged. The next one is SJM. We sold the SJM January 19th, 115 cash secured put option, and got $1.39 per share. This is a position that we started a couple days ago. I'm just looking to add to it. So Smuckers had a nice advance from this area that had served as support for around 107, broke through the green 50 moving average, also broke through this area here that served as resistance for at least twice for quite a while in October and November, and again several weeks ago. And then it even had enough strength. You see this nice high volume from the buyers, even had enough strength to push through the green 50 moving average. Now, looks like it's probably going to come down and test that for support, and quite possibly even test this 115 area where we sold that cash secured put option that served as resistance for it, quite possibly even test that for support. Notice in the top right chart, I'm holding my mouse down here, that cross area is right there at the red 200 moving average. So expect if it does come down to probably find support there. Notice there was a gap right in there on this hourly chart, and we see the gap right here on the daily chart as well. So keep in mind that gaps do tend like to fill. So we'll see this one gets filled. Over here on the weekly chart, we see over the past couple of months, Smuckers is just kind of consolidated and starting to see nice buying pressure from the buyers. It was a pretty high volume week last week, but notice again that nice long leg where sellers sold it down, and part of that volume was driven by buyers coming in and buying it up, as you can see in that nice long leg. So now it appears that Smuckers is trying to see if it'll advance back up here to this 130 area. And if it can, this trade will work out as well as some other trades that we have on. So that's all of our trades for today and for this week. I hope you have a great weekend.